central Indiana, in the underground PCHD Bunker. It's the Tales from the Crawl Space podcast with Brad and Jack.
Hey everybody, it's Jack from Tales from the Crawl Space, and across the PCHD Bunker for me, I have Brad and Daryl Harvey.
Greetings, Comrade Jack.
How is everybody tonight?
I'm just looking forward to this fucking show. We got so much material for this show. It's insane. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and the subject tonight is, you did what? All about the stupid shit people have done before they call pest control to take care of the problem. And I know everybody out there has seen some seriously stupid shit that people have done.
That is no kidding. And once again, Pest Control Humor Depot did not fail to disappoint, did not fail to disappoint. They did good, and getting us some much needed stories for this. It seems like everybody's got one of those stories, and this is no exception. But once again, I just want to say, Jack, I really appreciate you coming out to Indiana and paying me a visit in person. Jack and I have never met each other, and this was a real treat. Got out, had a nice steak dinner with him before this, and a few libations to kind of loosen us up for tonight's festivities. And also want to give a big shout out to Neela out here at the Best Western in Fishers for Jack's accommodations. If you guys, anybody comes into Indianapolis and needs a good place to stay, Best Western up here in Fishers is a place to play. They give you a clean room, and it's 98% semen free.
I tell you, it only looked like part of a Jackson Pollock painting with the black light. So it's actually really, but seriously, the room is really nice, really clean, nice part of town. It's fantastic. Definitely recommend. 5 out of 5 stars. Absolutely.
So Jack, once again, we had a great turnout on when, the asks for some stories. I understand not only did the depot come through, but you got some of your own off of some other areas.
Yeah, Instagram really came through, and it was awesome. I tell you, for all you boys and girls out there, all you cheese bags and non-cheese bags who should be cheese bags, that means you need to look for the Pest Control Humor Depot on Facebook.
Damn straight.
We've got a Twitter account that nobody does anything with. I mean, so it's kind of a waste of time and effort. So I'm gonna bail on Twitter because I think it's more for political people anyways, and we don't do that shit on this show. So, but Instagram did not fail us. I got some great ones from Instagram we're going to go over for the show.
Sounds good.
Again, it's about you did what? All the stupid shit that, I've seen some customers. I got to tell you, right out of the chute here, I had a customer that had mold issues all over the front yard. And what they were doing is they were taking old coffee grounds and hot sauce and putting them in. They were like tearing parts of the mold run out in the yard and like just dumping coffee grounds and hot sauce in their front yard, thinking that was going to affect the moles. It didn't. They ended up calling me, and I had to do what I had to do. But that coffee grounds and hot sauce, what?
Coffee grounds and hot sauce.
Everybody's got to find a way to save a buck.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they ended up wasting money on extra coffee. I mean, that's perfectly good hot sauce for but in the front yard, I mean, I can think of a whole lot of better things to do with hot sauce, and
Yeah, I'm stunned that somebody would actually use hot sauce for something other than food. It's kind of disappointing, actually. So, oh my gosh, it takes all kinds, and somebody apparently used a little bit of lead to try to take care of an issue. Bill Huth, our good buddy out here in Indy, a close friend of mine, had a rat issue at a trailer park. He goes, I knock on the front door. A woman opens the door and says in the most country backwoods voice, I don't need you. My old man took care of that rat, and pointed to the bullet hole blood stain on the wall. So it sounds like justice was served. Didn't really say whose blood it was, whether it was the rat or the Melungeon that pulled the trigger, but it takes all kinds. And Bill, you big red stud, I miss working with you, and I really appreciate the story.
Never mind Festus in the back bedroom there moaning. We poured some tussin on that bullet wound. He'll be okay today or two.
Yeah, he'll be up and running in no time, Marshall Dillon.
Just pour a little tussin on it. Well, I'll tell you, Brian Morrow on Instagram came back and said, I sold a bedbug job to a guy who had a salesman from the Big O tell him to use diatomaceous earth when he didn't want to spend $4,000 with him to treat a 2-bedroom condo. He put 100 pounds of it throughout the condo, sprayed his furniture with ortho, and said he'd cover his whole body with DEET before he'd go to bed. It was so caked on with powder that our steamer turned the whole place into white sludge. The tech I was training was speechless. Oh, my God.
100 pounds of what?
Diatomaceous earth.
Okay, that's like a railroad car load?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, if for those out there who aren't familiar with diatomaceous earth, diatom is a living organism. And diatomaceous earth is basically the skeletons of these very, very, very tiny living organisms. And it's used to scrape the waxy coating off of pests and cause them to desiccate and dry out and die. But 100 pounds of it? Damn, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, people, they say everybody talks about it being a non-toxic method, but yeah, sure, it doesn't have any active ingredient in it. But if you've ever seen that stuff airborne and know you're breathing it in, the stuff it does to your mucous membranes is just ridiculous.
Oh God, yes, it's like having little spiked balls floating through your villi in your lungs.
Yep. I can't be around it.
Yeah, I can't be around spiked balls either because it gets me excited.
Yeah, well, it's if I spike someone's drink with my balls, I mean, I get shrinkage from the ice, but it's totally worth the lasting effects.
Yeah, good grief. Sean Schambarger had the same problem. I say he had a customer trying to eliminate bed bugs himself for 3 months before calling us. He used so much DE that looked like it snowed inside about 1/4 of an inch if you leveled it on the floor. Funniest part was it was on laminate flooring and it was like ice skating.
Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. Fucking bust your ass just trying to walk to the house. Now, I had a customer who had a bed bug job, claims he got the bed bugs from his boat. They were supposedly all over the house, although multiple inspections prior to his pest control purchase, which I'll get to here in a second, brought up nothing. He went online, he got a quart of Demon and a pound of Dryone. Mm-hmm. Now, under his carpets, all of his cushions and everything, he was puffing Dryone like it was the apocalypse was coming. I mean, it was everywhere. And he was hosing everything down from floor to ceiling with Demon. And he's like, I'm still getting bit by him. Well, you're sitting on a couch that's got a pyrethroid dust puffing out from between the cushions. You're going to have a skin reaction, buddy. That's got nothing to do with bed bugs. And he's like, well, I'll clean it up. So he fires up the vacuum and it starts blowing out the exhaust of the vacuum. So I go running for the front door and I told the guy that he's fucking lucky his houseplants are still alive.
Oh, shit.
And I would not enter his house again. And I canceled him there on his front doorstep because there's no way in hell. And we talked about this before, the guy that has the, purchase your own pesticide. That's not the name of the website, but that's where he bought it from.
Oh, good grief.
It's like going with Pesty. I mean, they're just going to send you crap, not teach you how to use it, and then expect you not to fuck shit up.
Yeah. But see, Pesty has that extra premium where they include a butt plug with every purchase. So, they've got a market there.
Well, they do, but the problem is that they test them for flavor, and they generally try them out before they send them to you. So if you get a little something extra, I mean, you didn't pay for it, but you got something extra.
Oh, absolutely,
yummy.
Yeah. You're talking about buying or soaking it down with Demon. I had a customer that did the same thing back when I was working at the Big Green Tea a long, long time ago. I found some Demon, some of the EC sitting in one of their cupboards, and they had put that shit all over. And I went back the next month, and she'd miscarried. So I mean, this stuff is nothing to fuck with. I mean, no, it's like I get trying to save money, but there's something to be said about something to be said about having a professional deal with shit like that.
Yeah, and this just takes me right back to Pesty. You don't give Harry homeowner professional products and expect the job to be done right. I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't had lawsuits out the yazoo.
Yeah, and then for crying out loud to actually advertise a video of somebody using it without gloves and shit like that. I mean,
no gloves, no goggles, and a short sleeve shirt. And just killing pollinators and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I just remembered I had an inspection out on the west side of Indianapolis here at a motel, not a hotel, a motel for bed bugs and roaches. And I got in there, and the guy said he'd been treating himself for the last 3 years. And I asked what he was using. He showed me a bottle of Dursban up on the shelf. That's no joke. And so I just told him, nope, we are not your company. Good luck. Goodbye.
We can't help you. I'm sorry. We can't help you. Fucking Dursban. Holy shit.
God, I have fond memories of Dursban. I mean, I loved it. It was the knockdown king back when I first started. You have the yellow loaded up in your B&G and go out and you see a paper wasp nest, and it's like, yeah, that stuff took no prisoners.
Oh no, and that's exactly what it did. But putting it in the hands of, it's like giving a 357 to a 4-year-old.
Shit, man. Speaking of smell, Dave Lyon was telling us that he had a client that's dumping his cat's kitty litter in the roof void because he was told the smell repelled rodents, and he'd been doing it for 6 months.
God.
Oh God. Fortunately, I'm sitting right next to a wastebasket because this is some ridiculous shit right here.
That kind of makes me want to vomit.
Yeah,
that's the worst smell ever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the ammonia and I guarantee their sinuses were clear.
Oh, I'm sure they were. My sinuses wouldn't be clear because they'd be full of vomit. But
yeah, because I try to keep your mouth closed. Comes out your nose.
Mm-hmm.
Now, to follow the Diatomaceous Earth, I want to send a thank you to Shock Sound G on Instagram. He said that they apply mountains of Diatomaceous Earth powder along the baseboards like it will work wonders. Now, I'll tell you, I've seen people do the same thing with boric acid, where they do the entire perimeter of their apartments and across the thresholds and everything just look like, you had 5 coke whores have a fight in your apartment. There's white shit all over the place.
Yeah.
And boric acid, diatomaceous earth, I think kind of go hand in hand when it comes to Harry and homeowner thinking they're going to solve problems.
Exactly. And a lot of this stuff that you find that they're putting out, not only is it a big mess and it's powder, but it also tends to attract moisture. And if it's sitting there long enough, these things become rock fucking hard. And, it's like, well, I this stuff ain't working. It's like, well, no goddamn wonder it ain't working. You got it so high, the thing dies of exhaustion by the time it climbs to the top of it.
Just remember, kids, when you sneeze after doing a line of coke, all that booger sugar turns into cement.
Mm-hmm. I'll have to take your word for that one, Jack.
A little bit of booger sugar.
Yeah. Oh, good grief.
Let's see. The last Instagram one submission we have is from the Bug Bandito. And he says, I had a client put cayenne pepper around every vent around the home to prevent rodents from entering. I sold the exclusion job and worked in the area with snot and watering eyes. Tried to wash it away and it made things worse. No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
Good God.
Talk about clear sinuses. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cayenne pepper.
Yeah. Daryl's got one over here from Sean M. Brown, of course. Sean M. Brown is a perennial contributor to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Really love hearing his stories because he's always got some juicy ones.
I actually have 2 from Sean Brown. The first one is about termites. It said, I had a customer who didn't want to pay us to do his termite treatment. He was a monthly pest customer, so I would go back to see him every month. After 3 months, I came back to find that fresh dirt had been piled all the way around his foundation. I told him, good thing you got that termite treatment done. He nodded and said, yeah, and I did it myself. Bought some stuff on the internet, mixed it myself, put it in the trench, and sprayed all the baseboards inside. The bottle he showed me was Termidor. Keyword there is
Oh.
inside.
Inside.
His application method was a 3-gallon bucket and a cheap sprayer from Home Depot.
Shit.
Said he dumped 6 buckets of product around his house and used 3 B&Gs around his baseboards.
6
Told my
buckets of
service manager,
product.
guy was canceled same day.
Hell yeah.
This is why aliens don't land here anymore.
Right. That's one reason.
They've announced the mothership for a week and a half. We still haven't seen anybody because they're like, them fuckers are crazy.
Good Lord.
And the other one I have from Sean has to do with ants. Once went to sell a service to an older gentleman. I quoted him, and I shit you not, this guy says, "Nah, I'm not paying this for ants. I'll just get white chalk and draw a line all the way around my house. They won't pass through it." So, smart ass that I am, I took him outside, found an ant, and drew a circle around it. Watched the little bugger walk right through it. Looked him in the eye and said, "Now the price went up by $15 a quarter." You can't believe everything you read, people.
Oh,
That's right.
shit.
Eat that shit, motherfucker. You and your chalk.
There's a video going around of somebody doing that around like a plate of fruit or some shit. I'm just like,
Yeah.
and then I heard this and I was like, okay, it must have worked one time. But
Well, the only thing I would ever do with ants and like a pen and a piece of paper is show people how ants follow construction lines. Like if you take a ballpoint pen and draw a line on a piece of paper, he'll follow it. And one thing I used to love doing is showing how pheromones work with ants. When you find a trail going across a countertop and you swipe your finger between 2 ants, that second ant will come up and he'll stop when he gets to where your finger swiped. Because you remove that little path of pheromones, and you say, see, that's why you need to keep things clean.
yeah. Are you sure are you sure he's stopping because of the lack of pheromones that you wiped away, or he's stopping because he smells the shit on your finger from the last time you scratched your ass crack?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and admit that I was digging in my butthole, but fine, I was digging in my butthole.
You know, Jack. The first step is admitting it.
And the only problem with that is I bite my fingernails, which totally explains my breath.
Yeah. Notice a bit of cheesiness today.
Oh, it's a bit naughty.
Yeah, it's a bit naughty. It is shit. It's not just me then.
No, it's all me. It's totally me.
Yeah. So, Jack and I have been having a good time here together this evening. Went and had a nice dinner and had a few drinks. And speaking of alcohol, we've got Wesley T. Pitts out here saying he had a tenant try and solve fungus gnat issues in his toilet by spraying alcohol in it. Well, it stirred them up, and they died all around the bathroom. That's a weekly account I service, and he kept doing that for a month, I think, every day. Pest services included in the rent. I look under the lip of the bowl and see nastiness. It would have taken 5 seconds and done it for him. Older, frail gentleman. But he didn't have a toilet brush or a good substitute. He didn't have a toothbrush or anything?
Dude, go to the dollar store. Get some of that Bonami stuff and a toilet brush. Problem solved.
Yeah. Yep. Then when you're done doing the Bonami, you take the can and beat Joan Crawford's daughter over the head with it. When that was clean, there was no more problem. So yeah, good old Wesley going over and above there.
Oh, and to speak about the alcohol at the restaurant, in the words of Karen Carpenter, we've only just begun.
That's right. I had to search far and wide to find a bar where Jack could enjoy his Lucky Strikes and his beer at the same time, and I think I managed to find it. So that's awesome. That's where the postmortem's going down here tonight.
It's on like Donkey Kong. After we get ourselves out of the bunker, we have how many feet down are we in the bunker right now? Like 150.
150. Yeah, it's a good 150 foot down. The blast proof doors have been sealed, and we have our provisions now. Thank you for Daryl for bringing a cooler of Pepsi and water in, and
least I could do.
Yeah, so we're hunkered in the bunker. So let's rock.
Well, I'll tell you, PCHD did a great thing getting them one of those old Nike missile silos. I mean, it works out fucking fantastic. It really does.
It is. It does. The only problem I got is there's only one shitter. And it's close to the surface, so it's a climb.
Well, it better be close to the surface because when you blow it up, shit, you can't have that funk going from the bottom to the top. You kill everybody.
Yeah, that's true. Didn't think of that.
Poor Daryl.
Yeah, God love him. Yeah. Michael Brody, thank you for your contribution. Says a lady removed all of her carpet, boarded her pets, had her basement waterproofed, had her front porch completely redone to not hold water, all because of springtails. She also put poster board on all of her countertops, so when she would see one, she would smash it, date it, put the time down. I would tell her to give it 2 weeks. She would call the office as soon as I walked out the door to schedule an extra service for exactly 2 weeks. Michael Diaz can confirm this because when I moved to Bedbug Tech full time, I dumped her on him. That's cold. That's cold.
I got to tell you, what kind of fucking town are you living in if you have a full-time bedbug tech? Holy shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it happens. I mean, Indianapolis, we're kind of bedbuggy here. I know for a while Cincinnati was just like massively chronic with them. But
God damn.
No, I'm trying to figure out this part where he says she put poster board on all her countertops so when she could see it, she would smash it, date it, and put the time down.
That's for the next ones that come along to know what to expect for themselves.
Yeah, it's like that's a warning.
That's like when you used to hang drawn quarter and then like put their heads on a pike outside of the gates of the town.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker. You see what happened to him? Watch your shit.
So Jack, have you ever had that customer that presented you with a stack of envelopes with dates and descriptions and all that other good shit, and then you turn around and open the thing up, and you've got cat boogers and pubes and everything but a bug?
Oh no, I've definitely had that. But also, if y'all check the Instagram at TFTC Podcast, I posted a picture. It looks like someone took a moth and stomped on it, and then kind of twisted their foot around to really get it ground in pretty good, and then sends a picture and asking you to identify it.
Yeah,
because they'll completely obliterate and go, "Hey, what's this?" But aside from the cat boogers and the dingleberries, and I think I had a Tiddlywinks piece in one of them. You get all kinds of shit in envelopes from the say. Oh, I found this yesterday. I found this.
Yeah,
but I need you to spray up in that one room because 4 years ago we saw one ant. So I need to spray that. I need to spray that whole room because we saw an ant 4 years ago.
Yeah. Good grief. Yeah, I had one. I had that one that was just like that, and I went out. I found spiders and stuff like that. Of course, there were no spiders in these envelopes. It was cat boogers, pubes, etc.
Mm-hmm.
No bugs, no spiders or anything like that. But I did find some dead spiders in her place, and so I told her. I said I didn't see anything alive. I said now if you see something again, give me a call. And we'll come. I mean, I'm serious. It was 4 hours later when I returned to the office. She called saying that she definitely saw something moving, and we set up a service for her for like 2 days after that. 2 days later, her husband calls, says, "Well, we need to reschedule because she's got to go to the doctor." And then so I said, he goes, "I will call you next week," and then the following Monday came up. He calls back and said, "Well, we had a service scheduled for Tuesday or an inspection scheduled for Tuesday. We had nothing scheduled for Tuesday. It was just he just imagined it, but we have to reschedule that again." And it's been 3 months now. I haven't heard from him. So
they were just hoping you'd come back out. They were just hoping you'd come back out.
Yeah, I'm sure they were, but I have no idea what happened to him. I wish him well. I hope everything's okay with him, but I also hope that they never call me again because it's just a colossal waste of time.
Yep, I just hope they go fuck off. They're great people. Just go fuck off, though.
Yeah. Hey, good luck. Fuck off. Oh man. So let's move over into let's go back to termites. Joshua Taft says he just recently went to a termite inspection. She saw them in her baseboards. She knew what to do for this and ran for her Talstar. Oh. Did she dilute it? Hell no. She just gave her baseboards a nice coat of Talstar. What makes it even more scary was she was an RN. For those of you who don't know, that means registered nurse. Right. Furthermore, her child was running barefoot all over this application. As I said, this should be diluted, right? She said, "Why would I want to make it weaker?" She has less than half of a 3/4 gallon of it left.
Oh, the big fucking bottle?
I
Jesus
guess,
Christ.
yeah, yeah,
And she
3/4
was
gallon. I
and she
mean,
was painting her baseboards with it.
yeah, she was apparently just nailing her baseboards with Talstar. Holy
Because
shit!
that stuff is thick enough; it's not going to spray on its own.
Yeah, maybe if she spend more time like reading labels and less time doing like those TikTok dances and shit like that, then she'd know that that's probably not a good idea.
Or at least buy her kid some shoes.
Yeah, buy her kid some fucking shoes. She's an RN for crying out loud.
Well, I tell you, that really instills zero confidence for the medical personnel in this. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some people out there who save lives every single day, but then you get asshats like this. Then you get asshats like this that paint their baseboards with Telstar.
Yeah, it's like our industry, we get some real fuck sticks, and everybody's like, "Oh God, they're all fuck sticks." But you get somebody like this, a registered nurse, and they're still all Jones of Arc or something. So,
Oh no,
I just don't get it.
I've seen many pest control techs that were fuck sticks. That's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, yeah, it's fun. So, one of my favorite cheese bags. I have thousands of favorite cheese bags, but this guy here always seems to rise to the top on occasion. Issa Tater,
Oh,
the one, the only Issa fucking Tater has brought it. So, and Daryl's got that one.
Yeah, I think we've all been through this one before, especially in the wintertime. It says that the client lets their 5 dogs poop on their deck all year long, rain, shine, or snow. Then always wondered why they have flies. I came there one day to shockingly find all the poop gone, but it was too good to be true. Instead, they just used a hose, sprayed it off the back of the deck, and wondered why they still had flies. I fixed the problem, right? Wrong. Just moved it.
Out of sight, out of mind. As long as you don't see the poop, there's no more poop.
Yeah. We all know it's out there. We just don't know exactly where it is.
That's right. Fall dog turds. You know they're out there. You just don't know where.
Absolutely.
But I got to tell you, I remember that thread, and I responded to Issa about having to go around houses when I was doing exterior power sprays and coiling the hose over my shoulder to carry it around and keep it off the ground to not drag it through dog shit in the backyard.
I think we've all been through that in one form or another.
Yep.
Yeah. Unless you got a flow zone, then you're just fucking stepping in it in your shoes.
I tell you show me a residential pest technician that when walking through a new patch of grass doesn't look down and watch their feet the entire fucking time they walk. Because you have to teach yourself to not step on turds. Because if you got to go in someone's house, the last thing you want to do is have to clean it out of your boot before you can even get to the house. Yeah. So everybody instinctively looks down as they walk. And I'll be a monkey's ass. Well, I am a monkey's ass, but I'll be a monkey's ass if you could show me a genuine pest tech that doesn't do that.
Yeah, you're not a monkey's ass, Jack. You're a baboon's ass. You're red and inflamed.
Oh yeah, I am, but I am great. Put me on display, big monkey's ass like that. Hell yeah, theirs are meant to be seen and loved.
Yeah. When I got some new boots, but I think I'm going to start when I got outside services scheduled. I think I'm going to wear my old ones because they have no tread on them, and those are the easiest ones to clean dog shit out of.
That's actually a good idea.
Just do.
They're easy to fall on your ass too.
Yeah, it's easy to fall on your ass, but you basically when you step on that dog turd, you just take 2 steps back from it and do what dogs do after they take a shit. Kick them legs back, flip some grass up, and everything's good. And I think I'm going to do that.
That and you got a lucrative workers' comp claim if you do bust your ass.
That's true.
Mm-hmm. You know what really sucks is when you have an apartment community that will not enforce, you got to clean up the dog, the policy about that. I was out looking for rat burrows around a building. The rat burrows didn't exist because the rats they were seeing were baby possums. But at any rate, they got all this ground cover and everything, and people just walking around letting their dogs shit everywhere. And, of course, when I got done, I get back to my car, put my right foot in the car, and that's the one that has the dog shit on it.
Yep. So the Hooeyman is always the first to go into the car.
Yep. Didn't realize it until I got into the car, and by then I had to sit there. Like when you're a kid, you sit on the curb, you wipe it off best you can, then you get a stick and dig it out of the tread. That's what I was doing one afternoon just a few weeks ago.
And you sit at a light about 2 blocks down from the account and go, "The hell's that smell? What does that smell?"
It's me.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
I have a shameful story that really Daryl reminded me of when he was talking about apartments. When I went to pick up a bulldog. It's a French bulldog, so it's kind of a smaller breed, from a foster. I was adopting it, and I had to spend the night at a hotel. So I pulled into Erie, Pennsylvania at the prestigious Red Roof Inn because they were pet friendly. Mm-hmm. Before we crashed for the night, I took him out. It was really cold outside. Going to say maybe about 5 degrees Fahrenheit above, and went take him out for the last dump of the night. The turd that came out of this dog was epic. I mean, it was like he shit an entire sea cucumber, and I'm sitting out there, and I was like, I don't have a bag. I don't have any gloves. I said, I'm just going to leave this sit here. It's going to get hard, and I'm going to pick it up tomorrow morning before we hit the road. So first thing in the morning, I'm heading out. I open up the door, and there's this woman out there just cussing her ass off, picking up this chobe that my dog laid down, and she goes, I can't. She looks at me. She goes, I can't believe people do this. And I said, my dog crapped out there this morning, or last night, but I was going to pick it up. She goes, this can't have come from your dog. I looked at it and I said, you're right. That's not his. She was like, man. So I started cussing with her. I got Dewey in the car and we headed back to Indiana. But I was like, shit, I still tell that story. And that was like 15, 16 years ago. I was like, that woman. But I mean, props to the dog for getting that thing out of him because it was just massive. I couldn't fucking believe it.
She's saving it for you.
I appreciate your honesty because I would have been like, yeah, fucking assholes. What the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's something I should have taken to my grave, Jack, but I trust you.
Fuck. Sea cucumber. I'm still hung on the sea cucumber part. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
With all the ones you printed out from the depot, did you manage to get the one about the Irish Spring soap?
Fuck, I didn't. Did you?
I will find it. You read some, and I'm going to find it because I've seen this and I want to comment on it. Because
I got nothing. Why don't I just rattle off my recipe for barbecued ribs? Because it seemed like everybody had a fucking problem with my ribs and the pictures I took last week.
What the fuck?
So I take this big. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, I was cooking up some ribs. My buddy Randy Strother, he's really sick. I was talking to him about my recipe, my ribs, and he goes, "Why don't you make me some?" I was like, "Fucking A, I will." So part of my process in the recipe is blanching the ribs on the grill before I cook the rest of them. And so I set them on there. I put them on the grill to crack the skin. I take a picture of it and put it on the depot for some stupid ass reason. And I got these diehard, smokehead stick burner motherfuckers out here bitching about the way I'm cooking the ribs. And I'm like, there's more than one way to do this. And so I was just like, shit. I couldn't.
I was kind of jealous myself. I was like,
oh yeah, and you should be jealous, man, because my fucking ribs slap.
I believe it. Oh, I found it here. Lisa Atkinson said, I have a customer that's chopped up Irish Spring soap and put it on the windowsill. She swears it works. The fact the soap works has nothing to do with me treating her house every month. Sure. I saw this one lady had a 2 outbuildings and a house out in the middle of nowhere near Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And all through her garage and basement, she cut up like 10 bars of Irish Spring soap, swearing that it would keep the mice out of her building, which it did not, because I was finding fresh mouse turds right next to the soap, which had gnaw marks on it from the fucking mice. So I tried to show it to her. She would have none of it. She swears up and down that Irish Spring soap would repel mice. And I've even seen people post that shit on like TikTok and Facebook, and I always comment, but it's funny that my comments get deleted when I do that.
Nice.
Fucking
asshole. One thing that always confused me was when I first started in pest control, I'd go into basements and see these Osage orangers or hedge apples. People would have around their basement up on the sill plate, say they keep away spiders. And I was talking to somebody, and they're like, "Well, there's some truth to that." So I think that some of this old time stuff may have some validity to it. But I had never heard that one before, and that was about 20 plus years ago.
Those Osage apples, they're actually in the citrus family, aren't they? I think.
I have no idea. I know they're a pain in the ass. When
they are.
Grains falling out of the trees.
Yeah, you haven't lived until you've been driving down a country road and had one fall out of a tree and hit the top of your truck.
Right.
Yeah.
I believe that's probably scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it damn near scared the shit out of me. I had a shark that was quite questionable when it happened to me out in Bogstown.
A little chunk. Had a little chunk to it. Did you bring up the one from Paul Napier about the glue boards all over the walls?
I've got it right here.
Oh, yeah.
This is a simple and short one. It had a customer who taped glue boards all over her walls to catch roaches and bed bugs, and she caught a lot. Well, yeah, she's got glue boards all over her. I'm surprised she didn't have Super Dave Osborne coming out and sticking to her wall.
In the Velcro suit. That'd be awesome.
Damn.
Now, I saw this other pesty-like company that was selling those roach pheromone monitors, saying that it will take care of your roach problem. So I decided to mention that, generally when the female roaches are carrying the ootheca, that they don't feed while they're carrying that egg sac. So they won't go, and because it wasn't actually a pheromone, they said it had like shrimp, seafood, and other odors that automatically attract roaches. So, I mean, you're telling me that the floor of a Red Lobster is what attracts roaches? What I can tell you,
it attracts roaches and Cajuns.
I've done Darden accounts, so yeah, actually, it kind of does. Yeah. But that was what economical Labrador Retriever.
Yeah.
And,
I hated Darden accounts.
Oh, fuck, man. Just the drain jobs alone were nasty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're sitting there basically with that long brush masturbating the drain.
Yeah, I would always come out from under their dishwashers and shit at Red Lobsters with puncture wounds during endless shrimp because everybody ordered the fucking skewers. And,
oh my God.
And they would have they would come up with bus tubs just full of them bamboo skewers, and they would go fucking everywhere in those kitchens. And I'd get underneath there. I'd like scoot along. It's like, oh fuck! It's like yank one out of my back. Oh shit! Yank one out of my arm. And it's like
perforated.
Exactly. It's like I couldn't drink anything after that because I'd be like a sprinkler.
like the boss on Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen nasty seafood, restaurants. Like it's kind of a you did what thing. There was this little hibachi restaurant in Winchester, Virginia that would not have any pest control service at all. And then the health department would show up and threaten to shut them down. So they'd try to get out there with this big, huge pressure washer and pressure wash the entire kitchen, screwing up the drywall, making that stuff kind of slop onto the floor and clean the whole place, thinking that's going to get them past the inspection, which it doesn't. But then they end up calling us for like a $500 one time, which, it's easy money. Go through that damn kitchen and do it. But then they'd never call us back for another service. They just want the one time to get them out of danger with the health department, and they go back to having a nasty ass fucking kitchen for the rest of the year.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fucking pressure washer bullshit. Go take that shove up your ass, motherfucker. Sorry.
Sorry for what?
Sorry I had to deal with them motherfuckers when I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought you were talking about sorry about your language. I was like, since when?
Yeah, no, you'll get no apologies for that. Fuck.
Absolutely not. Yeah. Oh gosh. Hey, Jack, have the bags of water for flies? What do you think of that?
The ones that you put a penny in. I was doing a grocery store account. Actually, it was Copasan. I said I was going to mention Copasan last show, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I'll get to that. But this Copasan account, and they actually had an internal memo for this grocery store telling the deli department that along with their fly lights, which were mounted entirely too high, that they should be hanging Ziploc bags with a penny in them, a new penny in a bag of water, and hanging them from the ceiling. That it's supposed to repel flies. No. No.
No. Yeah, exactly. I was I don't know the logic of it.
Yeah, I've never could figure that out, and I'd ask people, and they have no idea either. They just hear it's okay. People like that are like lemmings. Oh, we should jump off this cliff, so they go jumping off the cliff. So we should hang this bag up with water and a penny in it. Oh, that's what they do. We should put Irish soap all over the house. Oh, that's what they do.
Yeah,
There's no research in it whatsoever. It's just fucking lemmings.
No, we should buy 100 pounds of DE and just throw it all over the fucking place.
Of course,
yeah.
Because it's healthy.
We should order pesty.
That's right. We should get, and I think they get away with that shit because they give it to you in a such small amount that even when you dilute it, it's not enough to qualify as a spill.
Right. Yeah. It's crazy as shit. But yeah, the things people will do to save a buck, I don't get it. We are probably one of the more economical things that you can do to protect the integrity of your household and your business
and your family,
and your family,
of
and
course,
your health and everything like that. And I don't understand, Jack. Do you have any ideas why it's such a hard? We have such a hard time getting, being able to charge what we're worth.
Well, and you and I were talking about this over dinner, is that people view pest control as a luxury service as opposed to a necessity. Mm-hmm. And when it comes time to cutting corners and trimming your budget, the luxuries are the first things to go. Now, I got to tell you, cigarettes aren't a luxury. Neither is cable TV. Right. Mm-hmm. or lube, depending on where you live. Those things aren't luxuries, but pest control gets cut out pretty quick.
Yeah, it does. And, I never got that, but, and especially when you're doing a great job and you're keeping the pests under control, you think, well, we don't need you anymore.
And that's when they think they don't need you. Oh, the pests are gone. I won't have this problem anymore. You got rid of them. They'll never come back.
Well, it's like the reason you don't have the bugs is because we're fucking getting rid of them for you.
That's right. There's very few exterminators versus pest control anymore. I mean, back in the day when you came through with Dursban and shit like and Orthane and stuff, you exterminated shit. But a lot of companies now kind of IPM has changed the face of things, and it does require a maintenance service. And I tell you, mice, rats, all this, they're all transient. When they constantly search for a food source, just like termites and ants do.
Yep.
So you might not have them for 5 fucking years.
Hang on, man.
Okay.
No. Go ahead, Jack.
Oh, you might not have them for like 5 fucking years, but they're going to find you and you're going to have a problem and you're going to need a maintenance service to take care of it. But no, it's like when Dow started selling the Hexagard stations at fucking Home Depot.
Yeah.
Your own termite bait stations, Harry homeowner termite bait stations. That just fucking floored me.
Exactly. Hey, Jack. I wanted to stop your rant there for a second because I have a special guest on the phone. The one and the only James Schultz. Told me we were getting ready to get the story out, and he had a story he was trying to type up and he didn't quite make it. So he can't hear you. He can't hear you, Jack. But I'm going to go ahead. Schultz, how you doing, man?
Not too shabby. How about you, Brad?
I'm hanging in there, my man. How's your mom?
Mom's great.
All right.
Mom's great as usual.
Awesome.
Yeah. So the story that we were talking about was back in the days when I was still with the economical people, Big Blue E, and we had a specific customer who. They sell lots of noodles. We'll go with that. Mm-hmm. But they had a lot of the way their program was set up was they were only serviced certain months out of the year, and generally took a layoff during starting in November, and they didn't get service again until January, February, somewhere in there. Somebody somewhere in this location decided that they thought it would cost them extra to call me out for a cockroach issue. So they went months with it about, anybody being in there to do service or, to find this activity, until one day their district manager came in and noted the activity. So, of course, I get a call and, bells, whistles, all that. I show up, and the manager and the employees of this store had been attempting exclusion on their own. They were talking Scotch tape, and in some places, dubbing tile caulk. I was finding around electrical outlets, cracked tiles, whatnot.
Oh my God.
Then I reached over and I grabbed hold of a thermalizer to pull it away from the wall to look back behind it, and it was like I opened Mummy's crypt. German cockroaches come pouring out. At which point the district manager and the manager both lose their minds and run screaming. And I'm trying as hard as I can with, between stomping and using an aerosol pyrethrin, trying to stop this stuff from running out into the dining room, because they're going everywhere. And I mean, we're talking, it's 3 in the afternoon, so you know how that can be. But yeah, don't try your own exclusion. Call a professional, please.
That's right.
Good Lord.
That's fucking awesome.
Oh my God.
They just killed me. I mean, Scotch tape. Scotch tape.
Everybody knows you use duct tape.
Yeah, that's right. Or gorilla tape or something. Or my favorite now, flex tape. That's right.
Flex tape.
Yeah, if they'll keep birds out, maybe they'll keep roaches out too.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
All right. Well, we won't hold you, man. I appreciate you calling in. And so your desk is going to be a little fucked up to come Monday, but, we'll talk about that later. All right.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, just don't move stuff too far. I do have a system.
Yeah, right. All right. We'll talk to you later, man. Love you.
See you. Love you too, bro.
Yeah,
See you,
bye.
Jack.
See you, buddy. Awesome.
All right. That was James Schultz, man. Schultz himself.
That was great. Yeah. I can imagine him looking like Michael Jackson with a fog machine, just spraying the aerosol and dancing around trying to stomp on shit. That'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, if you knew what this dude looked like, it would be even funnier. Yeah. His presence alone adds to the comedic value of it.
How about Schultze?
Yep. Big time. The infamous wall of roaches. I love that stuff. So it was had a lot of good stories tonight, Jack.
We had a lot of fucking fantastic stories, and I thank everybody for the input. That was great. I don't think we missed anybody, but if we did, bring it up to us. We'll make goddamn sure we bring it up on the next show.
Right.
I have no idea what the hell the next show is going to be about. The only thing I'm concerned with is the frosted barley pop that's in my very near future at the bar down the street.
Amen. I think I'm going to be shifting gears into one myself. So, yeah.
But I before we go, we're going to be just under an hour. But before we go, we should have said, well, first of all, I want to thank JT, my boy, for making the custom intro for this show. It's fucking fantastic. I love
this
it.
Intro that he has is strong like bull.
Strong like bull. That's right. He did a great job there. Yeah. And this show, as with all of our shows, is dedicated to Randy.
That's right. Yep. My buddy Randy, this show is for you. I can't tell you enough how much I love you. And, we're behind you all the way, my man.
That's right. Right.
Yeah. And
now more than ever, his family, Randy and his family, need people helping them toe the line because things get tough, and they've still got other things in life that have to be handled. So if you think about it, go to the GoFundMe. Whatever you can spare, if you can find it in your heart to be able to do so. Help out with GoFundMe. If you want a little swag to go with it, go to tftc.wtf and make a purchase on our store. Get something cool to wear and it makes a donation to Randy when you do that as well. So,
you're giving to a good cause, and wearing our swag makes you look like a complete stud. Because
Skippy.
Nothing gets a chick going or a dude going like seeing a logo of Tales from the Crawl Space or PCHD. And speaking of that, I want to go ahead and put it out there that the second run of PCHD Glove Up You Cheese Bag Magnets is in stock. So there's still the incredibly low price of $5, and all profits will go to Randy Strother. You can get it through the usual things. Go through Venmo which is at BH1964, or you can do Cash App at $cheesebag420, or just direct message me the $5 on Facebook. Make sure you include your mailing address so you're getting what you pay for. So, yep, we paid for another run, man. So help us out.
Hell yeah, they got a box full of them just waiting to decorate your vehicles, your competitors' vehicles, your refrigerator. I got one on my fridge, one on my car. So fuck yeah, pick them up.
And one more thing we want to cover before we tell you to bug the hell off is we're looking at retooling the podcast for the busy season. Things are getting kind of busy for us, and we're also in the life, so things are getting busy for us. So beginning in April, we are going to be moving to a 30-minute podcast. We're gonna call it a minimum of 30 minutes because Jack and I tend to run off into our rabbit trails and goat paths. So it may be a little bit longer, but we will promise you at least 30 minutes of nonstop pest related fuckery each week. In the busy season, from time to time we may have an hour special if we have a special guest or whatever. But we just kind of want to let you folks know. So when you get to that 30 minutes and we were telling you to bug the hell off, that's why. We're just doing it for the busy season, and I appreciate everybody's support and understanding. So I just want to let all of our 12 listeners know that. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, we encourage all kinds of crazy swarm season stories, no matter what show it is or what the topic is. You got a good swarm season story, we want to hear it.
Absolutely.
For goddamn sure.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I don't know what the show's going to be next week. I'm more concerned about what's coming up in the next 30 minutes after I get this uploaded. And I'm open to suggestions for the show if someone's got a good one. We're also looking for some good guests to have on the show, which that may make the show run more than 30 minutes per if we get a nice guest on. So,
especially if we got one that likes to run his mouth.
Oh, yeah. Like just Schultz actually would be excellent.
Yeah. Stay tuned for a special 3-hour Tales from the Crawl Space.
Well, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're just under an hour, but I think that does it for us because we got shit to do. We got some,
man.
I
don't get Jack in town every day, so I'm going to go take advantage of this time we have together and try to get him a little drunk.
Hell yeah, and I got a lot of steps to climb to get out of this fucking bunker. So I'm gonna need an oxygen mask and everything by the time we're out of here.
Got that shit right.
All right, everybody. Thank you for listening this evening from the heart of Indiana at the bottom of a Nike missile silo at the PCHD bunker. Y'all can bug the hell off.
Bug off.
Thanks for listening to Tales from the Crawl Space podcast. You can find us on just about every single podcast outlet there is online. So be sure to subscribe, and we'll have a new episode next week. Don't forget, you can find us on Instagram at TFTC Podcast, on Twitter at Crawlspace Tales, and you can also find us on Facebook at the Pest Control Humor Depot. See you next week.